Good morning and welcome to this episode of Ben's Boat Bramble. So this morning I'm currently giving Bramble's exterior on this side a good rub down because the local birds have been quite busy, as you can see. And then the plan is to go down the Slough Arm of the Grand Union. So I'll be going back on myself a mile or two and then turning right onto the Slough Arm, which is about 5 miles long. So I've been scrubbing away for about 15 minutes now, and I think that's about as good as it's going to get. It's now 11:30 and apparently this trip takes about 4.5 hours from Cowley to the Slough Basin and back. So I think I'm going to start getting ready to head off now. So I just managed to squeeze past those two fuel boats behind me from Jules Fuels. Now I'm on my way to the Slough Arm of the Grand Union Canal. So to my right I currently have a marina, so I know that I think just before the next bridge is the turning onto the Slough Arm. As I said in the last video, lots of other boaters have bad things to say about the Slough Arm. Namely that it's full of rubbish, it's full of weeds, it's not maintained. I have seen a couple of videos about the Slough Arm, namely a guy who went down there on his own, a solo boater like myself, and was just completely stuck. The whole of the canal was full of weed. So I know that much is true. Having said that, that was in the middle of summer, when the weeds will be rife. I've just turned onto the Slough Arm, and first impressions, it's actually looking very pretty. There's lots of trees either side, lots of planting. The water's very clear, it looks quite wide, and it's clear as the eye can see, as far as the eye can see. So first impressions are good, though in the videos that I have watched about the Slough Arm, it's the last third of the Slough Arm that you need to worry about. And to my right is the packet boat marina, which I just went past on the Uxbridge main arm. It's quite a large marina. I'm not sure how many boats are in there currently, but it's quite full, as you might expect in the winter months. That's officially the second aqueduct I've ever gone over. Aqueduct number 3 done. So that was also a surprise. As far as I could remember, there was only one, but now that I've done 3, I believe it is just 3 that there are. Let's see if I get surprised again. I've just temporarily cut the engine because there was a couple of large logs spanning the canal, and if you turn your engine into neutral, then nothing will get wrapped around the propeller. So now I've passed it, I'll turn it back on. And I've just noticed further ahead there's ice, which I wasn't prepared for. It looks very thin, but I'm not sure until I get into it really. There are patches that aren't frosted further on. I'm hoping this is okay. It looks as though the ice might be a bit thicker further on. So I think I'm going to stop by this ridge and have a look. So that lady walking in the background is a CRT worker who, well, a CRT spotter I should say. She was basically saying, you know, even if there wasn't ice, don't go to the end, because all there is loads of rubbish, and even at this time of year, lots of blanket weed in the water. I'm quite gutted about this ice. And although it's fairly easy to get through, I'm not sure how much thicker it gets. So that's a worry, obviously. So yeah, a bit gutted. So hearing that from a CRT worker is definitely a good warning sign not to go. But that's sort of why I wanted to do it. You can see here on the map that I was only about a quarter of the way into the Slough Arm when I encountered this ice. I'm now just going to walk to the end and get to the Slough Basin on foot. So off I walk down the Slough Arm. So about a kilometre down from Bramble, there is a bit more stuff in the water. So there is hope. This is a little area with less ice and a few more patches further on. And that's the sort of thing I expected to see. So we're now approaching the Langley area where there's a train station, Langley train station. And this is where a lot of moorings are as well. Lots and lots of boats all of a sudden. It was nice having an empty canal up to here, but it's also nice knowing that there's a little community down here. I really appreciate a good boat name, a good boating pun or a play on words. I feel like it's quite a nice part of the canal experience. Hello. I still can't get over the surprise of ice. I don't know why I didn't think of it. A few videos back I went through some ice that had just been broken up, and the temperature's not much higher than it was then. So we're now into the final third of the Slough Arm, and to be honest, it still doesn't look too bad. I'm guessing that the worst part of it is right at the end in the Slough Basin. We'll see. Depending on what time I get back to Bramble, even if the ice does melt, I might not be able to go down anyway because of how late it gets. But you never know, I might decide to sprint back and make a go of it. For the most part along this stretch, in the final third, the ice is very thin or completely melted, which is encouraging. I know this is the wrong time of year to say so, but so far this seems like a really lovely clear stretch of canal. I'm sure I might say differently in the height of summer, because seeing how much dormant growth there is, I can see how it would be a problem. But at this time of year, it looks like a lovely part of the cut to go down. The basin, 1 mile. I I've just seen a couple of large rats. There's one of them going into the water. Oh, they're together. There's two of them just in my shadow there. I'm not sure if they're water voles or rats, but they look like rats to me. Very good swimmers apparently are rats, as you can see. Alright, mate. I really got hissed at then. So it's just gone 2 o'clock. I'll probably get back to Bramble just before 3. So I'm not sure if that would even give me enough time, even if there was no ice. But let's see. So across the way there's quite a few boats on hard standing. I love that name. Oh boy. That's a great name. I can just about see the flash of green of Bramble at the distance, just by the bridge that I stopped at, which is the M25. I had a look on the map. So I'm going to give it a go. The ice looks fairly thin, thinner than it did earlier actually, and even then it was thin. So I'm going to see if I can get to Langley, which is where all the boats are, and go from there. I'll either turn around once I've got to Langley, if it doesn't look like I'll get to the end of the Slough Arm by nightfall, or I might do it. We'll see. I tell you what though, this part of the Slough Arm is great for foraging kindling and wood, firewood. FYI, if you ever are short of wood along this stretch. The little green dot in the distance is getting closer. So in other words, I'm getting close to Bramble. I'm going to fire up the engine straight away and see what happens. Bramble! Right, here we go. I'm going to start her up and take the pins out and see what happens. It is almost 3:10 and we are about to push off again. So we've picked up a bit of speed, not a crazy amount, and the ice doesn't really seem to slowing us down. It's very, very thin, although a bit noisy. It's very, very thin, and you can see behind me that I'm the only boat that's come through today. The Slough Arm clearly isn't very popular. There is something quite exciting about this, not knowing how far I'll get or if I'll have time. This definitely feels like a bit more of an adventure than other cruises have felt. Okay, so I'm now basically at Langley again, where all those boats are. So I'm making good time. It's 3:30, 31 past 3, and I've not had any problems. The ice was quite loud, not very thick, nothing really to worry about, and there's only a couple of patches from now on. And towards the Slough Basin, there's a bit of ice as well, but it doesn't look anywhere near as thick as it was down here. So yeah, I'm quite confident that I'll be able to get to the end and back today. Hopefully. I don't want to speak too soon. So far so good. It's really beautiful weather. It's still quite cold, but there's still lots of heat coming out from the coal fire I made earlier when I set off from Cowley. So all in all, this is very, very pleasant. I'm making very good time. It's almost 20 to 4 and sunset's at 5. So I'm confident that I'll be able to get down there before the sun goes down, and then once the sun goes down I'll have about half an hour left of daylight left. So I've just passed the distance bollard and there's only 2 miles to go. So I'm quite confident that I'll be there before 4:30 to make my way back.
Now and then I get so cold I feel that I could cry. Then I sit back and remind myself that it's good to be alive. I ain't got no time to cry. I ain't got no time to cry.
There is more and more debris being thrown up. As you can see, that big blue thing there, some sort of thick plastic sheeting. I think it also shows how few boats have come down here recently, because everything's been lying right at the bottom undisturbed and there was nothing floating near the surface, which might suggest that nothing's been disturbed for a long time. So far there's nothing in the prop. I'm still moving as I should. I'm touching wood on the tiller handle that everything goes well right till the end. I've actually got a feeling that I'll have more trouble coming back now that I've disturbed everything on the bottom. We'll see, we'll see. I'm actually amazed that I've got nothing stuck in the prop. From all the warnings that I saw in all the videos and from the CRT lady today, I'm amazed that I've got this far without having to stick my hand down the down into the weed hatch. So if you don't know, if this is your first time watching a narrowboat video, the weed hatch is a hatch that you can remove to put your hand down into where the propeller is, so that you can remove any debris and get to the propeller essentially. I've not had to do that in quite a long time actually, and hoping that today won't be the first time in a long time.
Get up on your feet if you're sitting down. Don't let the world go around making no sound. Breathe, listen to your heartbeat now.
And I'm on the very last stretch of the Slough Arm, and it looks like clear waters. You can see the end there now. It's a lovely sunset to boot. So all in all, it's taken me under an hour to get here from where I was, which I'm quite surprised at, to be honest, with all the ice and everything else. I'm surprised I made it here this quickly. There we are, the end of the Slough Arm. And this is the winding hole that most people would use. I'm going to turn around at the end there. Look at this. Right, here's hoping this goes smoothly. So I'm going to start turning now. Fully locked out. Here we are, turning on the very last part of the Grand Union Canal, Slough Arm. I tell you what, you can probably see on my face, but I'm so happy that I've done this. This is the first part of canal that I can say I've fully completed. I have done the Slough Arm of the Grand Union Canal. It feels great. And now I'm going to enjoy the last bit of sun that there is and enjoy ice-free waters relatively now, because it's all broken up. The only thing I have to really worry about now is everything that I might have lifted up from the depths underneath Bramble. I'm so glad that I've done that, honestly. I know there's not really anything to see, but it's just a great feeling. So long, Slough. I really am very chuffed. I think for the return journey I'm now going to switch the camera onto time-lapse mode. So here we go. Hello again. So the sun officially sets in 3 minutes. I've still got a fair bit of daylight left, and I have 3 miles left to go before I'm on the Grand Union main branch. So it's getting quite dark now, contrary to what it looks like on the camera. Visibility is very poor ahead. So I just stopped mid-canal to open all the blinds and turn the lights on so that I've got a bit of extra light coming from the boat. So it lights up the what's ahead of me. So it lights up what's ahead of me, but also to the sides. And I think I've just got something stuck in my prop. You might have heard that sudden drop in revs. Yeah, I've definitely got something stuck in my prop. No way. It feels like whatever was on my prop is now gone. Oh my god, that was that was super scary for a moment there. Okay, I'm on my way again. now getting to the very end of the Slough Arm. As you can see, it's even darker than before. You can even see some stars up there. And I've just gone past the Packet Boat Marina Slough Arm entrance. So I'm very almost back on the Grand Union, which I'm very grateful for. Obviously, it's not ideal to navigate when it's this dark. So yeah, I'm quite glad I'm going to be back on the main branch, and I'll look for a mooring as soon as I can, really. Hello again. So today we did the Slough Arm of the Grand Union Canal, and to be honest, the whole way back I was smiling, apart from that worrying moment where I got something quite large stuck in the prop. I think it was that clear plastic that I went past earlier. But wow, what a day. I'm now back on the Grand Union main arm, and I did about an hour to an hour and a half of night cruising. Thankfully it was all a straight line, and there wasn't much in the water on the last third of the Slough Arm. But yeah, I had a massive smile on my face, and I was actually laughing part the way back as well, just because I'm so happy that I chose to go for it and do it. It was a bit risky, to be honest, leaving it so late in the day and then going, but I'm super happy that I did do it. So if you're thinking about doing the Slough Arm, maybe don't do it in the summer months. I'd say winter is a good time to do it, because there's a lot less growth on the weeds and plants, and everything seems to have sunk to the bottom, and there's minimal boat movement. So the waters were relatively clear. But yeah, again, I'm just so happy that I've done it. Thanks for joining me. If you would like to support the channel, you can head over into the description where there's a link to my Buy Me a Coffee account. That would be very helpful, but again, no obligations. Like and subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. See you very soon.